Good days to our viewers at home. It's another edition of Sport Update on AYOGEN TV. I'm still your humble host, Adeus Oladeji Habib. Today we will be discussing on various activities surrounding the world of sports. Here in studio with me, I have one of my analysts is back on board. It's been a while. You all heard about David. David, you are welcome on board today. It's nice to have you. Let me say compliment of the season to you. It's nice to have you. I will be discussing a lot more, starting from the Super Eagles camp, Nations Cup at large. Then we'll discuss about Europe. To all our technical crew at home, MC Harmony, Mr. John, and our able director, Solidayo Falegun. We really appreciate you. Quickly, let's move to the first story of the day. AYOGEN set to meet Sudan clash. One of the Super Eagles defender, Chidozie AYOGEN, is set to meet the Sudan clash against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Chidozie AYOGEN actually missed the first match against Egypt, and now the training section that was held this evening is also going to miss. With the look of things, is not joining up with the team members of the Super Eagles, and is set to miss the clash against Sudan on the 15th of this month. David, let's quickly discuss about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Chidozie AYOGEN is messing up in the team again.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me, HB, once again. Talking about AYOGEN, he's the kind of player that once he plays, there's confidence in him, and it's actually disheartening to hear he won't be playing again for Super Eagles again.
And don't forget, Kenneth Omeru is injured.
Yes.
With hamstring injury.
I was somewhere yesterday and the person was like, I'm not happy Omeru too is injured. I was like, why? AYOGEN is also a player that once he's playing, he has much impact, especially on the Super Eagles team. And he has been playing for the past 2-3 years.
Exactly.
Our Super Eagles team. It's going to be a big blow to the Super Eagles, but I hope they're going to comport themselves, come out victorious like the way they did against Egypt, even without Omeru and
okay, taking a look at the Super Eagles team, we could see that their defense line actually performed excellently well in the first match against Egypt. Yeah. And they keep off Mohamed Salah, yes. But the up front, the forward, it's somehow a little bit shaky. What can you say about that?
Real kudos to our defense. The likes of Balogun, the likes of Ekong. These two players have been playing fantastically in their league back in England. Look at the likes of Ekong playing in Watford. I was watching one of his documentaries. The way he played, he plays with so much confidence. He plays as if he's a real player, and that's what he demonstrated totally against Egypt. That we can see this defense line, they locked off Salah. Look at Salah. Salah is one of the top-rated players in the world presently.
Exactly.
It's the likes of what he can do, dribbling, pace, everything. Well, we can see this defense line locked. It's two different things. The likes of our defenders, the defenders
he was even unable to outshine all those players, despite the fact that they are not playing in top-flight league.
Yes. Salah, first, let me say why he wasn't able to penetrate much. He didn't see someone like a playmaker to work alongside. So it was just as if he was an individual player, and these guys were perfect enough to lock him up. They were perfect enough to lock him up in their own cage. So they know what he's capable of doing. You know what Salah did for Chelsea. Look at what he did against
Chelsea.
Alonso. Yes, against Chelsea. One-on-one with Alonso, he moved off. Well, these guys showed themselves to be true, capable enough to stand against.
In another same vein, Austin Aguafon, the interim coach of the Super Eagles, actually issued a strong warning after Nigerian defeat against Egypt that they are going to play every matches as if they are playing final.
Exactly.
Do you see them winning this trophy, considering the fact that Austin Aguafon doesn't have time to prepare with this team, based on the fact that he's an interim coach, and Genatura, who has actually been with the team, was sacked some months, or let me say some weeks, to the Nations Cup?
About this, I'll say, I shall play football. Whenever you are going to win a game, you come with the spirit of winning. It doesn't matter. I've watched a game whereby the team was winning 3-0 down, and They came back 3-3. Now this man is trying to tell them that with the fact that you won Egypt, don't you to lose, because Sudan might be an underdog for them.
Exactly.
They might be an underdog, and if they are to lose, something might take up, something might happen, and before they know it, they might be out. But if they play every single match of theirs, like the way they played Egypt, they took Egypt seriously. If they play
But
every game of
taking a look
theirs,
at it, like you said, they took Egypt seriously.
seriously,
But our front, our attacking players are not actually performing well. If we play a team like Sudan, Senegal, the likes of Algeria, the likes of Ivory Coast, they have this zeal to score. But we as a team, the Super Eagles, our forward is somehow shaky, and they need to improve on that. If peradventure we play like what we played against Egypt, we might end up playing draw or probably goalless draw or 1-1 draw.
Yeah, about that, we say football is not an individual player game. It's not about I'm good enough. Look at Iheanacho, what he can do, what he has been doing in Leicester. Look at Simon also. We can see that these guys are individual players. They need proper time. Within the fixed time they have, they need to play together.
But
as
don't
a
you
team.
see experimenting in a tournament like this is somehow risky?
Yes, it is. But at the same time, everything in life is risk. Everything in life is risk. Within the fixed time they have, I think it's on the coach now to tell them to work together as a team. The three of them in the front, they need to work together as one. If you see what Simon was playing totally an individual player game that day. But within the
He
fixed
was
time,
even the man of the match. He actually performed
yes.
well, dribbled,
He
did all
did,
sort of
yes.
things. But
Yes.
our forward, the likes of Iheanacho, Samuel Chukwueze was actually off the line. He was not even. It's so difficult to know that Samuel Chukwueze is actually playing on that day.
That's what I'm still saying. They still need time. Or as you can see, they don't have time again. But within the fixed time they have, I think they need to work together as a whole. And I think they're gonna pull something good out of it.
Okay, let's quickly take a look at the Nations Cup. Yesterday, Tunisia's against Mali. Referee Gianni Zikwazi prematurely blew full-time whistle on 2 occasions. Blew the whistles for full-time on 85 minutes and later restarts the play. And it was during when he restarted the play that he sent off a Mali player in the 87th minute. And some people said the challenge should have been yellow card. So VAR actually tells the referee that it is not a red card. But eventually, he didn't change his decisions. Sure you get. Now, the referee rejects the VAR decisions. Referee blew again, full-time whistle at 89 minutes, 40 seconds.
With the background stories we heard about this code, about this referee rather, we heard before he went into the game, he was having a personal issue with his family. I think he heard a bad report from his family members and he didn't make it known because Adibini had made it known. I'm very, very sure CAF would have taken a very, very serious decision in changing it because we can see that's what transpired during the game. How can you call yourself a referee and put the time 5 minutes to the end of the time? And we know what players can do within 5 minutes to the end of the game. They can pull up anything, they can come back and equalize, they can come back and win the game. He doing that.
But after the final whistle, the Tunisia were furious with the officials, stormed onto the pitch in protest, but the man of the match trophy was actually handed out to best player yesterday. And the post-match news conference in full swing before Confederation of African Football officials decided that the remaining minutes should be played. Actually, the Mali team came out onto the pitch to play the 40 minutes after the controversy began. But Tunisia's crew and their players refused to play on, and the referee actually blew the final whistle, in as much as the Tunisia are failed to show up.
These guys are players, they are not robots. They are human beings, so they need to be furious. It's a normal something for them to be furious because you blowing the time and telling them to come back onto the pitch is just as if you are stepping on the angle. You know when you are winning, when you are losing rather 1-0. 1-0 is one of the goals that pains players most of the time. You are losing 1-0 and the referee acts anyhow and calls off the time. You don't expect such players to be happy.
Okay, now you said tracing the Gianni's record back. The CAF Confederation of African Football should have a details of each referee. They should know their details, what is happening to them even before the match. There should be some kind of psychological test so that such occasions, such ugly incidents, the yesterday ugly incident won't repeat itself.
That's one of where we are lacking behind in Africa. But now with what they've seen, they will know they need to put things in place. Because Adipin demand made it visible yesterday. I'm very, very sure the CAF would have taken a serious step, according to what I said earlier. They would have taken a serious step in changing him at the later hour. But I think he didn't make it known. And now it's what happened yesterday. I'm very, very sure CAF in the next 3 years will take another precautionary method in order for them not to let that ugly thing that happened yesterday happen again. I'm very, very sure they're going to take
Okay, now Tunisia's team refused to come out to play. Do you see them being sanctioned, the CAF sanctioning them, despite the fact that they were robbed yesterday with what actually happened?
I'll just put that as being emotional. They were very, very emotional. That's why the emotional what they were very, very angry and pissed off. That's why they didn't come back onto the pitch and play. And if it's that, even with the fact that you shouldn't let your emotions come over you. It's the rule of the game. Since you've been called back to play, you have to come back. I think CAF, even if they are going to sanction them, they shouldn't
be too serious with them.
Yes.
Taking it upon ourselves again, let's quickly discuss about some transfer windows in overs. Yes. Newcastle have completed the signing of Chris Wood from Burnley, €25 million for a 2.5-year contract. And Newcastle have moved swiftly to replace the injured striker Colin Woodson with Chris Wood, which was strengthening their attack. They always are striking options. And after the club triggered the release clause for the Burnley player ahead of a Saturday Premier League match with Watford, they're having a match against Watford. They signed a new player. Do you see Chris Wood as a potential striker, as the best options?
It's just like an emergency call. So it's not as if they've sat down and made their necessary gathering of information. But I think they were not fools when they were making such decisions. Chris Wood coming on to play this weekend, I hope he's going to show them his worth by they are bringing him up to the club. I think he's going to perform excellently. Newcastle, the likes of players the likes of Maximin, if he plays alongside with him well enough.
But actually, Newcastle is a new bride in Premier League now. Yes. They are trying to acquire new players. Yes. There was a time they sacked their coach. Yeah. The club has been bought by new individual. So, do you see this as a marquee signing that they are trying to build up a team? They are trying to build an empire for their club.
Seriously saying, I would say it's going to take a long period of time before they can...
It should be a long process.
Yes. It's going to be a long process before they can make up the type of player they are thinking of or they are imagining. Maybe you want to turn Newcastle to future Chelsea. It's going to take a long period of time.
That would be a long period of time.
You don't expect players like quality players playing on top of their games at the moment to come as low as Newcastle, only because of money.
And actually, Wood also said something that he was actually delighted to have signed a 2.5 year deals with the Magis, and is available to play in Saturday Premier League match against relegation.
He's gonna be happy.
Is he going to perform excellently against Watford?
I hope.
And don't forget, Watford is not just an ordinary team.
They've been serious now. Watford have been serious so far, and I think Chris Wood, if he steps up his game, I'm very sure he's going to perform. And he's saying he's very delighted. You don't expect... Lukaku also said that when he came to Chelsea. He said he was delighted to come to Chelsea.
So every player are always delighted when they go to new
mainly club. Because of the money is there. The money is there.
I'm also delighted to be here.
Yeah, I'm delighted. So what do you expect? Do you expect him to say, no, I'm not delighted to be here? It's not possible. He's going to be delighted mainly because of the money. I know he's going to have enough playing time there. Also, and I hope he's going to bring something.
Now, in Premier League, there was a time we have top 3. Yeah. There was a time we have top 4. Now, West Ham have joined the race. Newcastle is also coming up on board. Should we say Premier League will now be top 7 or top 6?
No, Premier League hasn't been an easy game. Easy competition. You can't compare Premier League to the likes of La Liga, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, and the likes. Premier League has been an hot cake for every team, and for West Ham have been pulling up some serious strings. Look at against Chelsea. Look at what they did. They've been showing they are ready for business this time. They are proving themselves to be 3 4 years Everton when Lukaku was there. You know, Everton then they were very, very serious with their game. They were pulling big teams down. Look at West Ham. They have been doing that at the moment. Newcastle too. I think if they get this sort of players, they can also be like West Ham if they want to be.
West Ham at Newcastle is actually building an empire. Okay, let's take a look at Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa side. They've signed Lucas Digne from Everton for a fee of around 25 million euro on a contract until June 2026. You should recall that Newcastle, Chelsea, and West Ham also wanted to sign Digne, who became Aston Villa's second signing of the season, of the January transfer window. You know, they've bring in Philippine Coutinho from Barcelona, and now Lucas Digne. I'm sure your club, Chelsea, shows interest. How do you feel that Lucas Digne's jet at Chelsea and go to Aston Villa? Despite the fact that Aston Villa is not playing in Champions League, Chelsea is playing in Champions League, they have every opportunity to at least have a title trophy in their bag this season.
You know what? You know, since he's not in Chelsea, since Chelsea have turned their back, I'm very sure, definitely Thomas Tuchel knows he's not the perfect person for the team. Because
but Chelsea was chasing him.
Yes, they were chasing him. But at the point you see it's died down for the moment. Maybe they've taken or checked their underground research to know what he can do. To know
the scout have come up with some other alternative.
Maybe they've come up and some other teams also. And since Aston Villa saw this, I think they took their chances and stepped up their game, and they met with Everton and completed.
Don't you see that Steven Gerrard is trying to become a bone in the neck of every Premier League team?
They've been proving themselves to be ever since Steven Gerrard took over Aston Villa. You know, Steven Gerrard himself as a player is not just a player in which you can just turn your hand and just, you know, you are not amongst. He's a player that knows much about football. He's a player that knows the abilities of players. He's a player that knows the type of players that ought to be in his team. Look at him bringing Coutinho from Barcelona, a whole Coutinho that came out from Liverpool, worth 130 million to Barca, bringing him
and
to Aston Villa.
Is on a loan.
He's on a loan. Don't be surprised at the end of the season, maybe they're going to sign Coutinho, because I think Coutinho is going to bring the best of himself out in Aston Villa. I think, likes of their striker they have, what's his name?
Is now Saint Maximin. Okay, Saint Maximin is for Newcastle.
This player they bought from Southampton, this striker. That's by the way though, but I'm very, very sure Steven Gerrard knows what he's doing by bringing the likes of Digne and Coutinho into the team. He knows they're going to strengthen his team. He knows their ability, and he knows why he brought them into the team. And I hope they are going to execute.
Let's quickly talk about your team. Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel said he's actually confident that they have teams to offer Anthony Rudiger. Thomas Tuchel insists that Chelsea Football Club are confident they can keep Anthony Rudiger at the club. Him speculation he could leave Stamford Bridge, which is currently runs to an end at the end of the season. Rudiger is likely to go to Real Madrid or some any other available team if Chelsea fail to extend his wages or probably his contract. And I think he was actually requesting for wages. And with all indications, if Chelsea fails to subscribe to his demand, he might likely jet them and leave for Real Madrid. Now, Thomas Tuchel says he's confident they have times, they have teams to offer Rudiger. And Rudiger has actually been playing as if there's nothing between him and Chelsea. He's committed to the team.
Not like Lukaku, by the way. Duly saying, I would say it's high time Chelsea pay this guy what he has been doing. Look at last season. Rudiger was exceptional. He was standing out amongst his peers. He was rated one of the best defenders in the world. Look at last season. Even at this present moment, Rudiger when he comes into the box to nod, all players,
Yeah,
opponent
they
players,
actually scored
yes,
yesterday.
he even scored it against Tottenham yesterday. When he scored, it was
And it
like,
was a
wow.
threat to
Yes,
Hurricane all through.
all true. Even against Liverpool,
It was a
he
threat to
yeah,
Mohamed
to
Salah.
Salah was nothing. He was nowhere to be found beside him, and I think he knows what he can do. That's why he's demanding for
In
a huge
wages.
amount of wage. He knows what he can pull off. He knows what he can do. You can't compare Rudiger to the likes of Malangsa. You can't compare Rudiger to the likes of maybe Zuma or Tomori, even though they are actually good. But Rudiger is an exceptional player. And Thomas Tuchel saying he's confident. Let's believe him. He is confident. Chelsea, it's not as if Chelsea doesn't have the amount of money to pay this man. They know is what actually.
But
And I
let's
hope,
assume the board actually sit, meet, discuss, and later they fail to offer him these wages.
if
Is there any replacement for him? Because now Chelsea is in crisis. Chilwell is injured. Reece James is injured. Marcos Alonso is not up to the expectation.
Sure, not at all.
Chelsea request for Emilson the overtuning, Leon overtuning. Just of recent, Chelsea request for the service of Kennedy. The Maluka overtuning. Don't you see that Chelsea is beginning to have a problem if Rudiger decides to leave the club?
once a player decides to leave a club, the club, I don't think the club has any power to hold him down as long as his mind is made up. And if you see, at the end of the season, Rudiger will be leaving on a free transfer. So I'm very, very sure Chelsea
And
won't
that's a
want
loss to
yes,
Chelsea if
yes.
the guy is
They
actually
won't, they
leaving
won't
on a
want
free
to risk.
transfer.
They won't want to risk it. And I'm very, very sure Marina is the kind of woman that knows how to pull things like that off. If probably at the end of the day they don't get to give him what he wants, I'm very, very sure they're gonna turn to another set of player, maybe Jose Conde from Sevilla or another player. But I'm very, very sure they're gonna look for ways in which they're gonna make him sign another deal with Chelsea.
Okay, let's be hopeful that Chelsea will offer him a new deal and will actually stay at the club. Yes. Okay, let's quickly look at one of the stars novas. Diego Godin has signed for Atletico Mineiro on a one-year contract with an options of a further year after having his Cagliari contract to be terminated. There are a lot of players terminating their contract. Diego Godin is also on the list, terminating his contract with Cagliari. He's now playing for Atletico Mineiro in Brazil.
It's now I've said it. Emotions. Players are not robots. They are human beings also. Maybe with the likes of let me make reference to this guy Balotelli. At a point he signed for Besiktas, and at a point he terminated his contract and signed for I think Serie B team. Then they are humans also. They have emotions. Maybe they are not getting what they want from the team.
From the present team.
Godin is actually a superstar since when he has been at Atletico Madrid. Maybe probably he's not getting what he wants from Cagliari in Italy. Maybe they are not playing up to his test. Maybe they might be giving him problems with wages also. And maybe it might be a personal issue for him. And he might not wish to come out. And the best thing for him to do is just discuss within his family and take a swift decision to terminate his contract. It's on the players to terminate his contract.
And now, considering the age of Diego Godin, still playing at this age, a lot of players are actually retired even when they are not up to this age.
At this point, it shows his passion for football. Look at Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is 37.
And he's already signed another contract for Chelsea.
Yes, he has been exceptional. It shows their passion for football. It shows it's not as if, no, we're after money. No. It shows their real passion for winning cups. Yeah. It shows their passion for football as a whole. Same thing with Gordon. He has been playing all through his life. He's not getting younger. Look at Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yes, Ibrahimovic, he said he's not going to retire yet.
Yes.
He's still aiming to play another World Cup.
He's playing fantastically in AC Milan. And players like that, they've been outstanding. Even the fact that they are old enough. No, they are still playing enough. That I think Cristiano Ronaldo too is amongst them. 36, and he's still playing fine. It shows their real passion for football. It shows as if these type of players are not after mainly money. They are after the success of football and success of the team as a whole.
Okay, yeah, after the success of the team and after the success of football. If you are just joining us, this is Sports Update on AYOGEN TV. Here with me in the studio is David Ajiboye. We've been actually discussing a lot about football. David, before we go on a short break, David, let's quickly discuss about Cristiano Ronaldo. He said Manchester United interim coach Ralf Rangnick needs to be given time to implement his ideas. Presently, United sits at 7th in the Premier League, 22 points above their Manchester rival, Manchester City. And, Cristiano Ronaldo says it is not acceptable for the club to be targeting anything less than top three finish. Top three finish, now they are 22 points behind the league leaders. And Cristiano Ronaldo is not a player that will just come and play for a 7th or 6th in the league, and even in Champions League, they're not performing excellently. It's someone who loves to have trophy in his cabinet. It's someone that is eager to win. So now he's actually subscribing to the idea that they should give this man, Ralf Rangnick, a lot of time to implement his ideas, that they shouldn't rush him, that it's not about changing coach year and year and year.
If our Rangnick, I'll take it to be a warning and a green light also. Deep down in Ronaldo is not happy with the way Manchester United are playing.
Exactly. All the fans too are not happy with them.
They're not happy with it. A whole Manchester United, the set of players they have, the likes of Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Cristiano Ronaldo, greatest of all time in Manchester United, and they are sitting 7th in the Premier League. Definitely, Ronaldo isn't happy. That's why he came out. It's not as if he's really happy with the coach also, saying we need to give him time. He knows they need to give this man time. That's why he showed complete maturity as a professional football player. That's unlike Lukaku saying he doesn't know what Tuchel is
actually up to.
Yes, look at Ronaldo showed rather he's a complete matured professional player by saying giving Rangnick time
to implement all his ideas.
You can't just expect a coach to come. I think I've said it some times ago. You don't expect a coach to come on and perform magic. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not done. You need to give him time. Definitely, within him, he's not also happy. And also, I think he believes at the same time that if this man is given time enough to pull what he can do, we've all known that this man taught Thomas Tuchel, he's taught Jurgen Klopp. And look at these two coaches in the world.
Even just of recent, Chelsea played against, is it Chelsea?
Yes.
Tuchel actually make use of the same formation Rangnick was using. And they won by 5-1.
Yeah, Rangnick is a man, he has a good mentality of coaching stuff. But if you look at the set of players, Manchester United have also, they suit it. But I think where Manchester United is having problem is their midfield. In what sense? They don't have.
But they have a lot of players in that midfield, a lot of finest players, a lot of players who have experience.
The formation Rangnick is using, you can see he's using 4-2-2-2. Now
the formation actually looks like 4-4-2 formation.
Yes, it looks like 4-4-2 formation. But a set of players you are putting, how can you put Sancho on the side? It's not done. Sancho is the kind of player that plays in the middle. He prefers dribbling. Likewise, Bruno Fernandes. He prefers playing in middle. It's maybe I think
like a ball juggler.
Yes, Sancho is the kind of person. If he doesn't dribble like 3-4 players, it's not convenient. Not like Neymar. It's not like that. I think Rangnick needs to take his time. Nobody's rushing him at the moment, but at the same time, he needs to give himself serious sense that if he makes any
mistake, given to the end of the season.
Yes. If he makes any stunt, if he pulls any stunt, he's going again. Manchester United are ready. I think they are becoming Chelsea at the moment because Chelsea doesn't waste time in firing.
Time. Now let's quickly discuss about your team, Chelsea. Chelsea have reached our cup finals for the 14th time. Thomas Tuchel, and this time around, Tuchel is one game away from winning his 3rd trophy with Chelsea: the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup, and now Carabao Cup. So Chelsea, you guys are actually doing exceptionally well despite the crises that ravaged the team just of recent.
No,
What's the magic behind this?
I'm actually delighted to see, even with the fact that they had coronavirus, they had Lukaku issues, they have
The
injury issues,
injuries and the
came back
likes.
stronger. They've been showing as if they are a team. It's not as if they are individual teams. Even though Lukaku was trying to do as if he's not one of them, but we can see he still came back. They are a team. They play as if and that have been the spirit in Chelsea so far. Even when they started the league, everybody was like their favorite, even though they might not be favorite. I'm not saying they're not favorite actually, but they came back stronger from the crisis. They came back stronger from the injuries. They came back stronger from the coronavirus, and they've been doing exceptionally well against Tottenham, against Chester. We even know Chesterfield is not a big team actually,
Exactly.
but
But when
Tottenham,
they
the likes
score
of
against you,
Tottenham.
they celebrate like I'm winning a
Yes,
trophy.
no, I believed truly Chelsea came back as a team against Liverpool because I something was
From
telling yeah
two goals
something
down.
first half something was telling me that these guys aren't losing this game. I said it. I was actually in a sport house and people were like, oh, Chelsea have lost this one 2-0, 36 minutes, and within 4 5 minutes Chelsea came back 2 goals. There
And they
and
have
then,
the chance to kill the game
yes,
on that day.
actually, even from first half, they actually showed that they are exceptional throughout, and they go into the Carabao Cup final now. I think anything that is going to come and play against them, beat Liverpool, beat Arsenal, I think they are going to be very, 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 very serious
Okay,
because Chelsea are not going to
just a
take it
little
lightly.
predictions. Do you see Chelsea are claiming the trophy,
I won't say
irrespective of whether it is Arsenal or Liverpool?
I won't give the judgment based on the fact that Chelsea is my team. I'll say football is a game of either you win
Or you lose.
So if Chelsea wins, good. If they lose, good. But with the way they are playing, Arsenal too, they have been on the top of their game also. Chelsea, I'm giving them 60% win rate.
David is actually giving his club a 60% in the final. We hope and pray, or let me say we hope that your team will be in final of this Carabao Cup. And let's quickly take a zip and welcome our second guest. We'll be going on a short break now. Stay tuned. It is still Sport Updates. You are welcome back on Sports Updates, all the way from AYOGEN TV. We are located at Akinjagunla Junctions. I have my second analyst here with me this evening, and this will be the first time I'm bringing a sport analyst, a sport writer, it's everything. Mr. Tolulope Emmanuel, you're welcome on board.
Good evening, HB.
Quickly, we'll be discussing from the Nations Cup, African Cup of Nations, going on all around. And quite all right, the Nations Cup has started on Sunday with Cameroon, the hosting country, hosting Burkina Faso. They actually played 1-0, 2-0 rather. Aside them playing 2-0, some other countries have actually been playing one goes to nil. Is there any magic in this? Playing one goes to nil.
I think this year's edition has come with a lot of surprise and you know generally African Nations Cup had always come with many surprises and criticism and the like. So playing a goal in every of the matches has been something so unique at this particular edition, and which has been calling for what's happening. But what you have to do is score your goal and seal the game. I think that's one thing that's
So
been in the mind.
it's actually very risky scoring a long goal and still relax that you are playing one
Considering,
goes to nil.
okay, the match between Super Eagles and Egypt. You know, while I was watching that game, everybody was tense and
No, the game was actually tense.
So
I
it's very
personally,
deadly and
the first time, because it's been a long time I've watched Super Eagles.
and considering these guys, we didn't have good record against them.
Yes.
So anything can happen.
Even the Pharaohs of Egypt on its own, they
Yes.
have a very good tracking record of
those
winning
guys
their
are-
first match.
Of course.
In 2010, they beat Nigeria by 3-1.
In fact, virtually every of our matches or opening matches at African Nations Cup, it has always been very difficult for us to seal the win.
Exactly.
Most times, I have records here whereby most of our matches have always been 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. I think from the last
It's a history
it
actually
also
repeats
repeated
itself.
itself again.
Okay, quickly, yesterday a match was played against Tunisia and Mali. A lot of controversy in that match. Our referee, Gianni Zekazwi, actually is the major point yesterday. He blew whistle twice. First in 85 minutes. Second, he suspended a player with actually red card, despite the fact that the VAR actually called him to order that it was not red card. Again, the match continues. What's it called? He blew the whistle again at 89 minutes. 2 penalty was awarded in the match. Actually, Mali scored their own, while Tunisia lost their own.
I think this guy, when you go through his background check, I think he had a lot of issues.
But come to think of it, David said something similar to it. If a referee, someone that wants to referee a particular match, is having any issues, don't you think the board, the CAF, who set up this tournament, should have looked into the background checking of each, even starting from players, coach, officials? They should have a background checking on them.
That's where CAF is missing it. Yeah, really missing it out there. Before you could bring in a referee, you have to,
because referee actually determine the fate of a team.
The officials matters whenever it comes to games like this, and that's why you discover in Europe things of such are not so peculiar, except if they make a foul calls or wrong calls or any other thing. But for you to blow the whistle before the game ends, or the end of the duration of the game, that's kind of absurd to me. I saw the updates yesterday because I couldn't watch the match, but I was following, and
it was awful. You can see it displaying some events.
50 minutes. How could you probably the time with him didn't correlate with the match. Those on the
fourth officials.
The fourth officials, but probably their timing at a point maybe he stopped his time, or he had and the other fourth official didn't stop theirs. Probably.
So that means there is misconceptions between those officials.
Exactly.
What of the red card? The red card, despite the fact that it was called that this red card shouldn't have stand, and we've witnessed a lot of scenarios. I could record a match where what's it called? Guacho Ronaldinho was actually playing for AC Milan. Then the referee wanted to issue the yellow card mistakenly. He dashed him red card, and later he recalled that it should be yellow card.
He had to cancel the red card rather. But this guy probably has a psychological problem with him,
because
that has to be dealt with.
Because the major reason why they are bringing in a video assistant referee is to normalize
checkmate
everything, to checkmate any issues.
And
now they are calling him to order that the red card shouldn't have stand.
The VAR calling you to come and have a check, or probably they've seen the tackles or whatever the fouls that might have been committed, and come check this thing very well. Even if you are not checking, there are instances
They went to go and watch it. He watched the clip like 2-3 minutes.
I think there are instances whereby the referee need not to go to the TV himself, but they will give him the situation from the situation room. Okay, they might have analyzed it and discover if there's a foul play here or not. So
is there any chance for these players to play it in the next match, in as much as VAR has actually decided that this is not a red card?
Of course.
So the Tunisia, the Mali team can actually
submit
a petitions.
I think 2 editions ago, or probably last edition, whereby this guy from Burkina Faso was red carded in the semi-final. Yes. That was 2013 against Nigeria. Semi-final before the final. This guy was this guy's name? I can't remember now. He was red carded, and probably they had to protest, and before the final game, I think he played at the final. So there's a chance for him if they look into the matter again, they review again.
And now Tunisia was actually furious yesterday. They wanted to lay a mime on the referee.
I think,
but the security have to guide the referee
that's
outside.
What we have.
So after the what's it called, the post-match interview, the CAF actually called that, okay, you guys go back. Go and play the remaining 40 minutes. It was even 40 minutes. And the Tunisia team, both the players, both the technical crew, both the coach, they refused to show up. Don't you see that this is a very big slap on CAF?
Already it has killed their morale. And
should they be sanctioned too?
Of course they should be.
For the fact that they refused to come out.
Yes. In this game, there have been laid down rules. And you have to comply by the rules. So if they are on the erring side, they too should be penalized. Okay, there's nothing wrong about that.
Because the Mali, which was even given a red card, they are 10 man down. They even came to the field. But the Tunisia's team actually fails to show up.
That's one beauty about Cup. I mean, the African Cup of Nations. We have
a lot of dramas and funny incidents. Even yesterday when I was watching the match, people were saying, was all this? The referee was even boasting that his decision should stand.
This guy, though, he's a senior referee in Africa. He has represented Africa. Okay, at one time he referred a match between Real Madrid at the Club World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
Some seasons back. And so I think there's still need for a check on this guy, and I hope he's going to get over it. But at first, this guy had to be suspended. That's the first thing.
For the meantime, in order not to cause a lot of havoc to the Nations Cup again.
For this tournament again, I don't think you should refer any game again.
And I'm suggesting if there is going to be a kind of a video conference where they will meet with the referee and discuss, analyze things, so that such ugly incidents won't occur again.
There's a committee that are in charge of the referees. For instance, in Nigeria, we have the Nigerian Referee Association, and in the NFF, we also have a committee that look into the activities. So I think CAF also should have
a committee that will look into activities like this.
And I'm very sure FIFA will look into this.
The CAF will look into
FIFA
himself.
Yes.
Okay, that's a very good thing.
If care is not taken, FIFA might hijack this competition from CAF.
That they are not competent enough.
Of course, there has been a lot of controversies over the years, and if care is not taken, CAF will be sanctioned, and FIFA himself will have to take charge of this competitions next time.
I will just hope that FIFA won't hijack this competition from CAF. Let's discuss about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano dos Santos Aveiro Ronaldo says Manchester United interim coach, which is Ralph Rangnick, actually needs to be given time to implement his ideas. Don't let us forget that Manchester United currently sit at 7th, 22 points behind their closest rival, Manchester City. Cristiano Ronaldo is the type of player that doesn't play for a team who is locking on with 7 assists, considering his pedigree. So it says they need to finish at third, probably top three. That's the latest. So he's telling the Manchester United board that they should allow Ralf Ragnick to implement his ideas, that they shouldn't sack him, from there's just coming back from the era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Ralf Ragnick is just coming in.
Well, before the Manchester United board could appoint a manager, they might have checked his record, might have known his worth and what this guy is able to give or offer to them. So if midway season you are almost using 3 managers in a season, I think that's
And
kind
from
of
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to Michael Carrick,
Ralf
Ralf Ragnick.
and you are considering sacking him again. I think that's never the best. Though the Manchester United board might not get the results. They might be the type that wants the immediate result,
just like Chelsea.
And it's very unlike that kind of incident occur, because the kind of league we are playing in UK this time around, I mean in England, it's kind of competitive that you can't just predict that this is going to be the outcome of a game or whatever. So it's kind of tense and very serious with the way even lowly rated teams that now are pulling up surprises that you wonder how come.
How this is possible.
Ragnick coming to Manchester United, I think they should
Give him enough time. But Ragnick is also an interim coach. By the end of the season, he will leave.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Since
And presently now we are in the second half of the season.
I want to believe. I want to.
And there's no
I'm
time
very
on ground because Manchester
Yes.
City is leading them with 22 points.
Though, let me say this: some of these teams will still have to drop forms. I think you know that. So there's still a big chance for Manchester United
To make it up to the top
This guy
10.
just came in, and for him to change what we have on ground in the team, the tactics Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is using was quite different from this. Likewise, Michael Carrick. So he's coming up again with his own ideology. So whatever ideology he has, and he's bringing into this game, let Manchester United board comply and give him time. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, I can't really blame this guy. He has, kind of 5 times Ballon d'Or winner and the like. He has really won it, and it's the vibe in Cristiano Ronaldo will not permit him to play for a lowly rated team like that. So he will always want the best. If you know him very well, whenever he's on losing side, he's always aggressive at times. So it's not always happy when things like that comes up.
Okay, let's take a look at Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club is now in the final of our Carabao Cup. Chelsea have reached cup finals in 14 successful time. And this will be the third time. Let me say, Tuchel is 1 game away from winning his third trophy. That's third.
Okay.
Third, yes. He has Champions League in his bag, UEFA Super Cup, and Carabao Cup are waiting for one of either Arsenal or Liverpool. Chelsea, a lot of controversy actually battered the game yesterday, ranging from penalty to Harry Kane to Lucas Moura. But, at the end, it was 1-0 scored by Anthony Rudiger. Chelsea versus Spurs. And, just of recent, Chelsea has been battling with a lot of crises, injury, COVID. And so now, Chelsea, should we say Chelsea is coming back? Because beating their former coach twice in quick succession is somehow. And this is going to be the first time a team is beating Spurs at their stadium.
Yes. First of all, let me congratulate Chelsea for another milestone. It's not easy. Playing against Tottenham and the kind of manager they have, that's Antonio Conte. This guy.
Exactly.
Very brilliant, and
he has always been successful in every team he coached.
You defeating Tottenham, it's not something serious. You take chances, it's either to your own advantage or to your disadvantage. So just a slim mistakes can cost you in any game. So the better side won the game. Let me put it that way. The better side won the game yesterday. So playing Tottenham losing to Chelsea, like I said, it's nothing so
Despite the
serious.
fact that they are London's rival.
Yes, of course. When it comes to derby like that, you see a lot of issues. Okay, you just mentioned it now. Lucas Moura and Harry Kane yesterday, they were denied, and you know, personally, though Tottenham is a rival to me also. You know, we are both from North London.
North London.
But
And we are still coming to that side. We are still coming to that side.
So, once again, let me congratulate Chelsea and let me give kudos to Thomas Tuchel. This guy is really brilliant, and I was in a sports house some times ago where